welcome to Preschool Storytime. Before we get started with our stories, I thought maybe we could get the wiggly jigglies out. So this week, we're going to try my favorite song. So let me get a little help here. Let me get the music going. It'll be a stand up, sit down.
Everybody stand up.
Stand up.
Everybody sit down. Now stand up again. And turn around. You can keep standing up, but not for long. Cause this is the sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down song. Good. Now stand up if you're 5 years old.
5.
And sit back down again. Stand up if you're 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Then sit back down with your friends. Stand up if you're 4 or 3.
4 or 3.
All right. Stand up if you're 8, 9, or 10.
8, 9, or 10.
Now everybody sit back down. We'll do it once again. Everybody stand up. Everybody sit down. Now stand up again. And turn around. You can keep standing up, but not for long. Cause this is the sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down song. Stand up if you have a sister. Now sit back down again. Stand up if you have a brother.
I have a brother.
Now sit back down with your friends.
Down.
Stand up if you have a dog at home.
Do you have a dog? I do.
Stand up if you have a cat.
And a cat.
Now everybody sit back
Here we
down.
go.
This time we'll do it
Fast.
fast. Everybody stand up. Everybody sit down. Now stand up again. And turn around. You keep standing up, but not for long. Cause this is the sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down song. Now stand up if you like music. And sit back down with your friends. Stand up if you like sports.
Do you like sports?
Then sit back down again. Stand up just if you feel like it.
I feel like it.
You don't even have to ask. Now everybody sit back down. This time we're gonna do it very fast.
Here we go.
Everybody stand up. Everybody sit down. Now stand up again. And turn around. You can keep standing up, but not for long.
Watch out, here we go.
Cause this is the sit down, stand up, 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 sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down song.
Okay, now that we got the wiggly jigglies out for Preschool Storytime, let's read some stories. So this week we're going to talk about birds. So let's start with a book about birds. It's a guide for children. Let's see what we can learn about birds. Birds have feathers. This is a northern cardinal. Baby birds hatch from eggs. This is an American robin. Some birds build nests on the ground, like an ovenbird. Some build it very high in high places. They build it in very high places, like the bald eagle. And some do not build a nest at all. Birds travel in different ways. These are geese. Most birds fly ruby-throated hummingbird, but some swim, like a wood duck, and others run, like a roadrunner. Birds may flock together, like red-winged blackbirds, or live alone, like a great horned owl. Do you see the owl in the tree? Birds use their bills to gather food. We have a hummingbird and a grosbeak, and then a great blue heron, and a waxwing, and a flycatcher. They sing to let other birds know how they feel, like the indigo bunting. Birds come in all sizes. Birds are important to us. And then it continues on to tell about the different birds that you saw on the pages. So that was a guide for children about birds. So let's learn a little bit more about birds. Let's see what Crinkleroot's Guide to Knowing the Birds is all about. Hello. Did you see any birds on your way through the woods? Do you know what kind they were? Can you name them? My name is Crinkleroot. I'm going bird watching right now. You can come along if you can. Be very quiet. Bird watcher needs to move slowly and step softly on the ground. If birds hear you or see you coming, they will fly away. I'm using my binocular to see the birds more closely while still keeping a distance from them. These are the lenses you look through. These are the lenses that collect the image you see. Many of the smallest birds are solitary, shy, and secretive. It takes a sharp eye to spot them, flinting from branch to twig or hopping silently along the ground under brush. Here are two species of small, very shy birds for you to look for. It's the yellowthroat. Notice how in birds it is often the male who is the more colorful or strikingly marked. Here's the male, here's the female. Chickadees are small birds that are not secretive or shy at all. On the contrary, chickadees are the friendliest birds I know. And that's a chickadee. And I bet you've heard a chickadee. They kind of sound like chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I bet you've seen them and heard them. If you stay very still, be patient, and don't stare directly at them, they will even take seeds from your hand. Look at him peeking through his fingers. He's peeking like this. Keeping a sharp eye is one way of finding birds. You can also locate and even identify birds by listening for the various sounds they make. Songbirds sing sweet melodies. Every species Song is unique. In songbirds, males do most of the singing. Blue jays are loud and ruckus birds. They almost always announce their presence with screeching, raspy noises. The caw-caw call of a crow is easy to recognize. A whole flock of crows flying and calling out to one another sounds like a riot in the sky. Caw, 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 caw. Woodpeckers knock, knock, knock on dead or dying trees to chip away bits of bark and feed on insects living in the rotting wood. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. It says rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Around water, you may hear the familiar sounds of ducks quacking, geese honking, gulls squawking, or even the strange and exotic bingo-like sound bittern makes. Honk, honk, quack, quack. Hummingbirds are named after the humming sound their wings make as they zip around from flower to flower, licking up sweet nectar with their long, slippery tongues. Shown on this page is a male ruby-throated hummingbird. On the opposite page is a female. So here's your male. Here's the female. Hummingbirds are the smallest birds in the world. The tiny nest, made of plant down in spider silk, is just big enough inside to cup two pea-size eggs. Have you ever eaten peas? 2 pea-size eggs are tiny little things, aren't they? Baby birds are featherless and funny looking. A baby bird's oversized, brightly colored mouth opens wide, providing a quick and easy target for the parent birds to feed. That's a baby robin. This is a baby hummingbird. And we have a baby sparrow. Look at his hair. Oh, that's a baby owl. And then you have a baby jay and a baby hawk and a baby heron. Baby birds grow fast. In a matter of weeks, they are as big as their parents. As soon as they have grown all of their feathers, they are ready to leave the nest and fly. A barn swallow 1 hour old, 2 days old, 1 week, 2 weeks. In 3 weeks, the youngster is ready to fly. In many species, young birds do not grow their adult plumage for some time and can be identified as youngsters by their juvenile plume. So their juvenile coloration, their coloring. Some species of birds are born and stay all their lives in the same general area. These resident birds can be seen year-round. Black vulture, we have a house sparrow. He's got a little chickadee on him. Chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dee. You have a woodpecker, a great horned owl, a screech owl, a titmouse, cardinal, nuthatch, woodpecker, we have a grouse, then the chickadee, and turkeys. Other species of birds fly away each fall to spend winter in warmer places. In spring, they migrate back to their birthplace to nest and raise new families. So songbirds, hummingbirds, cranes, ducks, warblers, bluebirds. Wherever they stay and wherever they go, birds add color, lively motion, and cheer to the landscape. Here are some ways to attract a variety of birds to your area. Plant shrubs and trees to give birds plenty of places to hide. You could do a little bird bath and provide some water, a watering hole. Let dying trees stand. Offer seeds, hanging nesting boxes, and for your hummingbirds, some nectar. Put a bell on your cat to warn birds of danger. I'm making a list of some of the birds we saw today on our walk. And Crinkleroot made a list of birds. So a yellow-throat chickadee, a goldfinch, some robins, a song sparrow, and it looks like he's about, lets you know what page too. So that was Crinkleroot's Guide to Knowing the Birds. So I have one more story that I just couldn't pass up. It's this cute little mole who finds a baby bird. So what does he do when he finds that baby bird? So this is Mole and the baby bird. Let's see what he does. Now remember how fast they grow. Mole found a baby bird. It had fallen out of its nest. Mole waited and waited, but no big bird came to help it. So Mole took the baby bird home. He made a nest for it. Look, he said to his mother. It's very, very hard to take care of a baby bird, she said. They usually die, said his dad. My bird won't die, said Mole. His friends helped him find food for the baby bird. His mother showed him how to feed it. Mole fed it whenever it chirped. And the bird didn't die, it grew. It's my pet bird, said Mole. It's not a pet bird, it's a wild bird, said his mother. The bird fluttered its wings. Your bird is trying to fly, said his mother. No, cried Mole, it mustn't fly. Mole found some wood and some nails. He borrowed his dad's toolbox. And the little bird is helping him. What are you making? Asked his dad. I'm making a cage for my pet bird, said Mole. It's not a pet bird. It's a wild bird, said his dad. You should let it fly. No, cried Mole. He put his bird into his new cage. The bird was sad. Mole's mother was sad too, but Mole kept his bird because he loved it. Then Granddad came to visit. He looked at Mole's pet bird. Presently, Granddad said, "Let's go for a walk, little Mole." Granddad took Mole to the top of a high hill. Mole looked down at the trees far below. He felt the wild wind trying to lift him up. Whee! I'm flying, said Mole. Nearly, said Granddad. When Mole got home, he looked at his bird. It was sitting very still in its cage in Mole's dark underground room. Birds are meant to fly, said Mole. He opened the cage door and he let his bird fly away because he loved it. Then he cried. The next day, Mole went into the forest. He saw his bird flying, soaring free, and Mole was glad. So Mole let his bird go. So Mole and the baby bird. So since we've been talking about birds, I thought for our craft we could make a bird. So I made a jointed bird, and its feet are my hands. So it has some big feet. And so what you'll need is construction paper, some yarn, some feathers, marker. I use tape or glue. So let's make our bird. First, you want to start by tracing your hands. So I traced some hands a little bit smaller and cut those out of the paper. 1, 2. And then you want to trace a circle for the body. I used a tape roll. And then a face, and I used a small piece of black and white for the eye. And I glued those on. Then, of course, you want a beak. It has to eat, as we learned. So I cut out a beak for it. So let's glue that on. And we have some feathers. So I'm going to add some feathers to its body. They're stuck in my envelope. Okay. So, and you also need yarn. So you want to connect your feet, your hands, but we're going to use those feet, with some yarn to the body. And this is where I use the tape just because it was a little easier. So tape your string to your hands, which will be our bird's feet, which will then tape to our body. But we want to tape, and tape's probably better, tape our feathers first. So we'll do 2 on each side. You can glue them if you have glue. It'll just take a little time for them to dry. And then don't forget to tape your hands to the body. And then we need another piece of yarn for our head to body, to connect our head to our body. And you tape that down to the back of the head. And that is our bird. Then you can hang your bird up by its head if you'd like, but it has hands for feet, and some feathers on the body. I hope you enjoyed Preschool Storytime this week, talking about birds. We'll see you next time.